Good evening, Auburn. My name is Robert Wilkins. I'm doing a special edition to Be Informed. It's our first one, and it concerns pharmacies. I know many of you out there remember pharmacies back when they used to have ice cream and they used to have sodas. I know I used to get a root beer soda all the time, and I believe I had probably my first unofficial date to meet a girl there and buy her a root beer float. So, but the most important things about these independent pharmacies is my mother used one for over 55 years, had the same pharmacist, and he was kind of like the second doctor in certain issues that she had. She would have a reaction to the medicine, or she might have other things, and he would talk to the doctor, and then he'd get back with her, and so forth. So it was a very valuable thing. But let me tell you about something called PBMs. The death of your local pharmacies are PBMs. These mosquitoes are biting me like crazy. May have to do it in the morning. Alabama's losing our independent pharmacies every day. Get involved, be informed by joining the news website called alabamaexaminer.com. So it's www.alabamaexaminers.com. Pharmacy Benefit Manager is what PBM stands for. PBM are not for the benefits of the local pharmacy or patients, but they were established to pad their own PBM pockets. PBMs were supposed to lower patients' costs while still allowing freedom of choice. Instead, PBMs control all facets of the drug pricing system, from the customer pharmacy, insurance companies, and the pharmaceutical companies. There's no need for PBMs. None. Think about this. If you can control what pharmacies can sell their drugs for, even if it's at a loss, and control what the insurance company will pay the pharmacy, then the days of our local pharmacies are numbered. PBM want to destroy all the independent pharmacies, even smaller chain pharmacies that are like grocery store chains like Publix and Winn Dixie. Even big chain pharmacies like Walgreen better look out. PBMs want you to buy drugs through their controlled online pharmacy sites. And if you have an issue with your medication, good luck. You'll be talking to someone with a foreign accent in a foreign country, not your lifetime knowledgeable local neighborhood pharmacist. I have a pharmacist, Thomas Pharmacy in Opelika, and I listened to him the other day. I was waiting on my medicine and my wife's medicine, and he talked to this older lady, and she had some issues, and they talked back and forth. All that's going to be gone. And this article I'm fixing to talk about was taken from, it's titled Tennessee 3 Years PBM Reform Legislation. It was published today at 8/12/24 from the Alabama Examiners. For over 3 years, Tennessee has had Pharmacy Benefit Manager reform legislation on the books since it was passed by their legislator and signed by the governor in 2021. Such a happily ever after story for Tennessee sounds like a fairy tale in comparison to the grim situation on the ground in Alabama, where folks are living through PBM nightmare that is dredging up all the worst aspects of our state's history and framing in high relief the corporatist nightmare that it has mutated into. While legislators in Tennessee stood up for their constituents and passed laws to protect them from predatory PBM 3 years ago, in Alabama, the PBMs are running wild with the wanton disregard for life, limb, and under the protection of the downtown Birmingham medical mafia kingpins at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama, who pull the puppet strings of the marionettes that they own lock, stock, and barrel in the State House. Here's how Arkansas has reacted to PBMs. PBMs have allowed to skirt the law for too long. Today, my administration has taken an important step to holding Big Pharma accountable, said Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders. We must make sure that our most vulnerable populations are protected, and that starts with enforcing the law. The actions today by the Insurance Department and the Commissioner McLean sends a message that Arkansas will protect seniors and rural pharmacies from PBMs, taking advantage of them. The department is committed to tackling PBM abuses. It's time for them to make fair and reasonable payments to our pharmacies as required by the law, and we will enforce all elements of payment and PBM license statutes that violate state laws, no matter the amount, said Arkansas Insurance Commissioner Alan McLean. Reuters said on dealing with PBMs, February the 1st, Blue Cross Blue Shield Association must face claims that it schemed with affiliates for years to underpay healthcare providers by billions of dollars. A federal judge in Birmingham has ruled. The Wall Street Journal had an article that said the PBMs have also made patients pay more to use their local pharmacies than a mail-order pharmacy affiliated with a manager, according to a committee report reviewed by the Wall Street Journal. WBMA 3340 in Birmingham reports pharmacies cannot cover cost of drugs and have to tell patients it's not available. Dustin Beatty, owner of Carbon Hill Drugs, says there likely isn't a shortage of the product. It is the pharmacies choosing not to supply it. Beatty provided an example of the cost difference with a Hot Topic drug of the same time. Monjero, I'm not pronouncing it right, but says it costs the pharmacy on an average of $1,000 per box, plus whatever it costs the pharmacy to dispense it. The reimbursement on that from the insurance company typically is about $850. So they lose $150 per prescription, and they're not paid for dispensing it, so they lose that income. This is another thing is how the Congressional Oversight Committee have reached concerning PBMs. The Oversight Committee obtained over 140,000 documents and communications from the three largest PBMs that collectively control 80% of the health market. That's CVS Caremark, Express Script, and Optimum RX. These documents formed the basis of the committee's conclusion in a new report titled The Role of Pharmacy Benefit Managers in Prescription Drug Markets, showing how PBMs inflate prescription costs and interfere with patient care for their own financial benefit. New York Times investigation said the job of the PBMs is to reduce drug costs. Instead, they frequently do the opposite. They steer patients towards pricier drugs, charge steep markups on what would otherwise have been inexpensive medicine, and extract billions of dollars in hidden fees. The PBMs, which are responsible for paying pharmacies on behalf of employees, are driving independent drugstores out of business by not paying them enough to cover their costs. Smaller pharmacies have little choice but to accept those lowball rates because the largest PBMs control an overwhelming majority of the prescriptions. The disappearance of local pharmacies limits healthcare access for the poor communities, but ultimately enriches the PBM's parent companies, which own drugstores or mail-order pharmacy. From a New York lawsuit on CVS Caremark, Judge Butchwald unsealed the confidential arbitration award that CVS and Carmack attempted to keep secret from the government, taxpayers, and shareholders. Judge Buchwald's 48-page order confirming the award highlighted in the first paragraph that Carmack began to assess fees on New York cancer and blood specialists if its patient did not adhere to taking oncology drugs prescribed to them, even if the continued use of these highly toxic medications pose health risks to the patients. We citizens are asked, how can we be involved in preserving the family neighborhood pharmacy? Because our lives are so involved with kids, family, situations, and work, etc. It's simple. Be informed and inform others. Contact your friends, your family, your neighbors, even strangers and others, and share this incredible and free news website, alabamaexaminer.com. This allows the greedy corporate people to see we are strong in numbers. The Alabama Examiner is like 60 Minutes during the Mike Wallace era, investigating issues that matter to our families and friends in the state of Alabama. Simply join this free news website. All you do is provide 3 things: your first name, your last name, and your email. That's it. That will allow you to be informed. Together, in numbers, we will provide a better Alabama. Get involved. See you soon. Become a part of our Be Informed campaign. And be informed.